What's up, everybody? The Finals has dropped a new patch, so we're going to be going over the patch notes for 1.4.0, starting with some balance changes. If we look at the abilities, we see that the goo gun has been fixed. There was an issue where goo could block the player, as well as a slight nerf to the mesh shield, where the health is reduced to 1100 from 1250. Recon Senses, a medium ability, I think has a buff. I think it's a buff, but I'm not really 100% sure if you guys know what the activation cost really means, but hopefully you guys do. It might mean that you get to activate it frequently or more frequently. I'm not really sure. For the gadgets, we see that the C4 has taken a nerf in its damage as well as radius. Furthermore, the damage multiplier to yourself is going to be increased. So in other words, the C4 is going to be doing more damage to you than it is the enemies, so you better get out of the way. For the dome shields, slight nerf, 50 health taken off of that, not too bad. Gas mine arming time added, glitch mine arming time added, mine arming time added. So it seems to be pretty consistent across all the mines, as well as the goo grenade has been fixed. Similar issue to the goo gun where it was blocking the player. RPG's taken a nerf, about 15 damage reduction to the max damage, and around a 10 damage reduction to the minimum damage. So I think, in other words, to kill lights, you're gonna have to direct hit, which I don't think is crazy different than what you had to do, but I think it's changing the RPG as less of a weapon and more of a utility, which I think is what the devs are aiming for. Radius reduced, damage reduced. Okay. About what you'd expect. Stun gun with a slight buff, with just a slight increase in range that you can shoot it. The maps have had a slight change as well. For game show events, they added a repulsor to the flying saucers in the alien invasion event. I'm not really sure what this means, but the event should be a little bit cooler, I guess, now, more interesting. I'm not really sure the goal of it. For Vegas, they updated the strain in various buildings to give better destruction results. I'm just assuming that the map wasn't getting broken the way they wanted it to. The games weren't playing out the way they wanted it to with the destruction, so they updated that. And then they resolved an issue where cash out stations would become invisible before players finished the transfer. I have not experienced that, but it seems pretty game breaking, so I'm pretty happy that they fixed that. For game modes, they made a change to Bank It, so Deathmatch is no longer a game show event that can occur in the Bank It game mode. Now, this is really what I'm more interested in, is the changes to the weapons. The AKM has received a different recoil pattern. I'm curious how that affects it. I'm not sure if this is a buff, a nerf, or maybe just a slight adjustment to make it, I guess it reads slight adjustment. So probably just a slight adjustment so that the AK plays more how they want it to. The flamethrowers, slight buff with with an increased fire rate. Damage increase to the LMG. Melee has been fixed. I haven't really had an issue where my melee hits haven't hit, but guess that was an issue that was in the game. M11, slight buff for you light mains out there. And then the right shield has been debugged. So fixed a bug where the shield would block bullets while invisible during interactions. That's interesting. um, for the SA-1216, the heavy shotgun, pellet dispersion increased slightly, and then damage per pellet reduced from 7 from 8. So slight nerf to the shotgun. I don't see it being too game-changing. The shotgun's still going to melt lights, and I assume it'll melt mediums pretty similarly as well, but hopefully it's more what they had in mind. Movement. Vaulting has been fixed, so reduced instances where you unintentionally climbed on objects outside of the player's view. Very good. Fixed an issue where players could get stuck without being able to give input. I think what this is referring to is when you are surrounded by like debris and you're unable to climb your way out. That's what they're talking about. That's a very awesome fix. I found myself stuck way too many times. Zip lines. They fixed the flying glitch. If you guys are unaware, you could put a zip line on I guess, what do they call it? Pick-up-ables, interesting word. And when you attach the zip line and carried the item while you ziplined, it allowed you to fly, I'm pretty sure, from what I had seen. So very game breaking. Very glad they were on top of that. I've yet to see it in game, but I'm glad I never had to. Couple UI fixes. Who really cares about those? If you want to read them, here they are. That about wraps up our time together. If you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe. Like the video, comment, do what you want to do. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Everyone have a wonderful holiday season and have a good day.